Maybe you can just introduce yourself.
Hi everyone. You look awesome from this side. Thank you. My name is Ndung'u Nyoro, and I have actually that is the only name that I use. But they also call me Baba Watoto Wasome in social media, so I think I go by either. I'm a founder of an organization called Affecto Foundation, and what we do, we give opportunity to brilliant Kenyans, young Kenyans, who wish to be in school, but for one reason or the other, they are not able to. So we give them an opportunity to go to school and be able to hack it in life. So that is all about Affecto, and we have been focusing on high school students, but right now we also have university students in our program. So it's basically a scholarship and mentorship program.
Great. Now, it's very interesting how you've been able to support these kids, especially through your program, Watoto Wasome, and just getting kids to school. But you use very interesting mobilization and funding models. Just tell us a little bit about crowdfunding and how you do it on different social media platforms. I've seen, sometimes I saw you did a post and then someone says, I'm giving you 100,000. I mean, if I did a post today, hata 100 nitapata kweli. So how do you do it?
Thank you, Martin. And I came a little bit earlier because I wanted to listen to the input from the speakers that we had. And basically what they were saying is exactly what we do at Affecto. And when you ask what is crowdfunding, of course it's the ability to pull in people to come and support a particular cause. And in this case, our cause is about Watoto Wasome. But prior to that, and I think that is when I came to know you, Martin, is when we used to fundraise for people who had challenges. Somebody is unwell and they are not able to get treatment in hospital because they could not raise the required resources. But I think for me, I'll find myself in this space accidentally. I am naturally a noise maker, especially in social media. So I was in that platform because I wanted to make friends. I wanted to see what my friends are doing. I wanted my friends to know what I was doing. But in the course of that, interacting with my friends, I found one of my relatives back at home who was unwell, and seriously unwell, and they could not be able to go to hospital, and because they could not raise the funds. So what the father did, because it was a young boy who had a chronic ailment, and the mother had passed on because of the same kind of a condition. And the father now could not stand seeing him losing his son as well. So he undressed the boy, took a photo of him. He had a big tummy, and he used to walk around with that photo and asking people to help him take his son to school. So somebody saw the photo from our home area, sent that photo to me, and when I got it, he sent and challenged me, why can't we ask a few of our friends? We see how we can get this boy to hospital. And I remember it was around Christmas. And I posted that photo on Facebook in the hope that people from my home area will be able to see it. And we can changa, kidogo, and the boy can, that was going to be our Christmas gift, a gift of health. And when I posted, surprisingly, it got attention even from other people who didn't know me, people who were not my friends. And within a very short time, Martin, we had raised over 100,000 shillings. And we were able to take the boy to hospital. He went to Moi referral. After a few days, he was referred to Kenyatta. And by the time we were approaching New Year, the boy had already gotten back to shape and he was reporting to school. So what now happened, I could, you remember I had posted that first photo. Now I am posting now a photo of the boy now, doing very well. Sometimes even coming to appreciate people, telling them that out of the money that you contributed, this is what we have been able to spend, and we are planning to spend this much more. So that journey and the ability to help people connect with the story and for them to see us walk the journey is what perhaps gave birth to a ministry that I was not prepared for. And it has been, I think, from the year 2014, December, and now we're in 2025, so we are talking about 11 years. We have been supporting different causes. It's important to mention that in 2017, when I came to know you, and thank you because I received an award from your organization. 2017 alone, that is in January to June, we had raised over 80 million Kenya shillings from social media to support different causes for people who needed to go for treatment. And by God's grace, we were able to register an organization, Affecto, which now 2017, we channeled our cause to education. And this is what we have been doing. And I have two of my beneficiaries who were sitting with me at the back. One of them is studying pharmacy at MKU. The other one is economics and statistics at KU. And we have over 100 students in universities. And we have close to 150 in different schools across the country. So if you ask me, I think for me, what I feel we got right, one, we identified a cause that people could be able to relate with. Somebody talked about relatability. We identified a cause that people felt they were very passionate about, and it's something that was speaking to their hearts. Number two, how we were able to communicate, how we were able to tell these stories. People could feel that it was speaking to their heart. So that connection between the people and the causes that we want to support really came and played a big role for us. Number three, of course, it's the authenticity. People don't want to be conned of their money. So you want to make sure that you're giving them something that for sure there is proof that this is a very genuine cause. And also transparency. You're giving your money, whether it is 10 shillings, whether it's 20 shillings, whether it's 100 shillings, people want to feel that the contribution they have made, it's money that is going to a worthy cause. So that is, I think, what has been able to help us over the course of time.
Great. That's a very good story. Now, I'm just wondering, when you're getting into a cause, how do you set a target? Some people will even call you and ask for support. How do you set a target? How do you know when to stop? Because people are always giving.
That's a good question. Targets, I think it depends on the specific cause. For example, if you want to take someone to school, the school fees, perhaps it's about 70,000, 80,000 in a year. So that is something that I will be able, your targets should be very, very realistic. You don't go and ask people, I want 500,000 to take someone's daughter to school. That one looks ridiculous. So what you do, make sure that you have a supportive document to prove that indeed this is what you need. And also you don't put so big a target that people will give up even before they start. So why don't you do it bit by bit? Some achievable targets. And also what I've learned with fundraising, people love success. So I would rather you set targets, lower targets, you win that step. As you celebrate that, you push them again to achieve an equally higher target. And that one has worked for us because when we were starting Affecto, our first cohort, we had only 5 students. So it was very easy to convince people that we need 500,000 in a year to support this number of students. But over the years, we have seen our numbers grow, that in one intake, from fundraising from social media, We find ourselves onboarding 60 students in national schools, and you and I know how much it costs to take a student in a national school. So once people see it is achievable, they want to join that train very, very, very fast, and it works.
Great, that's interesting. You've said you did 80 million. Now, what are the tools that are necessary or relevant to anyone who wants to crowdsource or generate, the way you mobilize resources online? What are the key tools that we need to have in place so that we have a successful fundraising online?
For tools, I think I would suggest only two, and perhaps those that have been very practical for me. And one for me, of course, is a platform where you can connect very, very easily with people within a very short time and with very minimal resources. For me, Facebook worked for me big time. People have been mentioning different platforms. For me, Facebook worked very, very well. I have a platform where we have a community that wakes up every morning to ask, who are we going to support this time? So if you have a platform where you can be able to communicate to masses, communicate within a very short time, and be able to receive, you don't spend too much. That one can help you, keep going. Number two, because I mentioned about transparency. I mentioned about being authentic. There is a platform that I used that is called Mchanga. I don't know whether anyone knows Mchanga. I have a community within Mchanga called Ndung'u Nyoro community. You can be able to see all the fundraisers that we did, all, and how much we have raised. So for somebody who wants a transparent campaign, because again, you have to create believability. People have to trust you. So how can they trust you with what they're giving you unless they're able to have proof of what you're doing? So if you can have such platforms where people can easily log in, identify and tell whether this course is genuine, whether it is authentic, be able to tell this is the amount of money we have raised, be able to track the amount of money, how their money is being utilized. It becomes very easy when you build believability. And I want to tell you something, Martin. Because of the consistency on the believability that we have created with our courses, these days we see companies. Remember, we started with individuals. We see companies knocking on our doors, coming all the way to our office and asking, what can we do? We have seen what you're doing. We want to support. I had some visitors coming all the way from Texas in the United States last year because they had seen this campaign going on online. They want to come and see what exactly we are doing. And we're developing some form of partnerships. So again, if you have something that is believable, it becomes very easy to attract people to support your cause.
Believability and consistent. If you want to be successful when it comes to crowdfunding, be consistent and create believability. Who has a question? This is a very interesting topic. Not many people dive into it, but this is where you come to learn how to make money online. Not just make, but crowdfund. And fundraise for different causes. Who has a question so far? Someone? Yeah, it's someone there who has a question. Anyone else who has a question? Now, as we get into, before we get that question, one of the biggest challenges about crowdfunding is transparency and accountability. We've seen so many people go get funding online, but midway they cannot account for their money. And I know you've been one of the few people in social media who've been able to successfully show accountability, and every time you have a cause, people always come to you to support any cause. How have you been able to be accountable to your online community and be transparent?
Well, that's a very interesting question. Accountability. One thing that I had to do as an individual, because like I've told you, I started way back. One of the things that I had to do, because when you see some of this money, it can be very tempting. And I remember one of the campaigns, we raised 8.3 million Kenya shillings in 1 week. So you can imagine if that money comes, and sometimes the devil can whisper a few things to you and you forget that you are supposed to help someone. So one of the things that I had to do was to create another layer that I'm answerable to. So I stopped working as an individual. We started now working as an institution. And perhaps that is where the birth of Affecto Foundation, or the conversion from Ndung'u Nyoro to Affecto Foundation, because I needed somewhere that I can be, or someone I can be reporting to, or somebody who can be questioning me at a personal level and help me in making the right decisions. Number two, for me, it is a ministry. It is a cause that, something that God has given me, a responsibility. So I'm also accountable to God. So anytime I do something, I have to keep asking myself, is God really proud of the decisions that I am making? Number three, I'm accountable to our beneficiaries. When we support them, can they really feel proud or honored to have been assisted or supported by us? Do they feel like we did the right thing to be in their space, or are they feeling like we are exploiting them by keeping mentioning them or tagging them along? Number four, we are regulated by the government of Kenya. So we have we used to call it NGO Coordination Board, but these days it's public benefit organizations. So every end of year, I have to take our accounts to them to see the amount of money we are raising and how we are utilizing that money. And of course, KRA, we have to get our auditors come do all the work. So all those levels, or all those layers, from being at individual level to organization level to to God himself, to the government. So all those, if you really, really do it right within all those layers, at the end of the day, you might crack it right.
You need to make sure that you create different layers of accountability. There's a question there?
Yes.
Yeah, actually, my name is Maybe. I'm a student, and my question was actually on accountability, like how he's been able to maintain. And I like how he's also brought the aspect of being accountable to God, because I feel like that should be the first step. Yeah. Then now, as an individual, you now like have your own ethics on how you handle the money. Now, I can ask the question, so how do you get the students? Like, how is it through referrals? Is it from your up country, like, is it, and what are the criterias? You talked about bright students, but also there are like students who are maybe not considered bright, but also there's also the financial constraints. So how do you do that? How do you, yeah.
Thank you. You said you are?
My name is Maybe. Yes, oh. It's like Mainyuki. Maybe. Yeah.
Thank you, Maybe. Thank you. Good question. And actually, to add on the bit of accountability, social media is one of the spaces that even the government is struggling to regulate, especially on fundraising. There's a lot of scamming going on. And when I saw it, I think I had to tell myself, it's everybody out there, but again, for me as an individual, I am accountable to God. So one day I will be asked this question. So every single day I have to keep reminding myself that I'm not in here to profit myself, I'm here to change someone's life. So going to your question, how do we onboard our students? And also a bit of correction, it's not bright students, we say academically gifted students. So what happens is that we are giving you an opportunity. So what we are coming in as a bridge. We want to help you move from this side to that other side. So we can't force you to go to the other side. So we want somebody whom, when we give you that opportunity, you cross that bridge, you'll be able now to move. You will now be able to create a different future. You'll be able to impact generations. So we pick students who understand the importance of that opportunity. And who are these students? I've had the opportunity to sit as a board member in some of institutions offering scholarships in the country. And having been there and having seen how things were done, we opted to be different. So ours is more of a rescue program. So we have students, let's say of course now we don't have Form 1s anymore, but what we used to do, we could wait for students to report to school. And then we will wait 1 month later. Who are those students that have been left in the villages and really desire to go to school? Those are the students we used to give opportunities. And like I've mentioned, we already have over 100 of them in universities. That means that they really wanted to go to school. Last year we had, if you watch news, when they released KCSE results last year, there is one student who was featured from Dandora who had started carpentry work. I don't know whether somebody saw those stories, and they say that he excelled. That is a student we picked. He could not join Form 1, and he started doing carpentry work. So when we were alerted, we quickly picked that boy, took him to Muranga High School, and last year he posted an A plane of 83 out of 84 points. So that's exactly what we are talking about, giving student opportunity, but those who know what that opportunity means for them. So I don't know whether I've answered your question, but I hope I've tried. Thank you. Somebody else had a question?
Any other question? Now, as we come to the close of this fireside chat, I'm just wondering, how does the future look like for crowdfunding? In your opinion, what challenges do you foresee and what opportunities do you foresee going forward?
Of course, one of the biggest challenges is donor fatigue. People get used to, and at some point feel like they have either given too much or they feel they can also support another cause. But how have we tried to prevent that? Because we've been doing that for 11 years. So how have we prevented that, Bwana Martin? For us, we have converted donors to partners. So we have made them part of the community. And that is why if we don't, at the beginning of the time, if we don't come and tell people that we are supporting back to school, they will be waiting for me to comment somewhere, and then they will be asking me, kwani hatuchangii watoto kurudi shule? Because they feel they are part and parcel of this community. So if you can be able to convert your supporters or your followers to become part of what you do, then it becomes very easy for you to withstand some of these challenges. So again, you have to be very innovative, very innovative. Sometimes you have to bring in other partners. You have to keep, looking for other people to come and partner with you in that particular cause. So as you keep bringing other people on board, sometimes they end up donating some of their followers to you, and perhaps you donate your followers to them. So you don't just work as an individual. Learn to work as a team. Have people support your cause. Number 3, like I've said, don't be telling people too much of the problems. Tell them a bit of a problem, share a success story. People love to hear successes. So, like for example, like I've just told you about that boy who passed his KCSE last year. When I shared that story, another person came and told me, how can I support another one? So can you be that person where you are able to make sure that you keep vibing positive vibes, every often? And it has worked for us. Again, thinking beyond social media, what are those other things or other activities that you can be able to do that can be able to complement, what you're doing in social media? Because somebody said there's a lot of fake life here, but be real in social media, but be real outside also, and people will always be part of that community. So I think that's what has been able to work for us in a nutshell.
Thank you very much for sharing your secrets and the opportunities that you see, yeah, especially when it comes to crowdfunding. You know, your story is a story that we can have for, you know, another 2 hours. So I like what you do, and I'm sure so many other people here support, some loudly, others quietly. And we really are proud of the work that you do. So thank you very much for your time and sharing your story and your insights. Makofi kwake.
Thank you. You can check Ndung'u Nyoro on Facebook. I'm just a Facebook guy. You'll see me on LinkedIn, but not very active. You'll see me on X. You'll see me on Instagram. But my community, and allow me to say this as I end. My Facebook space, I usually say it is the safest space on Facebook, because I always tell people what I write and how you comment, it must be something that can be consumed by your granddaughter, it can be consumed by your mother, it can be consumed by your grandmother. So language to us is very important. So I think it's that what has made people want to be in that space. So you can also join that community. Let's continue changing lives, one person at a time. God bless you.